Hey everyone, today we're diving into another thought-provoking topic. No matter who we are or how we live, death inevitably finds its way to each of us. You might hold a prestigious position, be surrounded by wealth, or live a life that seems filled with ease, but none of that stops death from eventually meeting you along the way. So what exactly is death? It's an ending, a disruption in the flow of life, isn't it? We fear physical death, but only when we can't comfort ourselves with the idea that something of us will continue beyond the body's final moments. When we ask about death, what we're really asking is whether anything carries on after the body ceases to function. We see bodies being buried or cremated daily, that much is undeniable. The question remains, what, if anything, continues? This is why many believe in an unseen or spiritual aspect of ourselves, whether it's the mind, the personality, or the soul, that might persist beyond physical death. We wonder if our stream of thoughts extends beyond our body's expiration. We spend so much time meditating, refining ourselves, sharpening our minds, and working toward personal growth. If we are in the middle of writing a book, pursuing a dream, or completing an important project, the thought of death feels unfair, a cosmic interruption. We tell ourselves, I can't die yet, I'm not finished. But notice how this fear stems from our attachment to time. We crave more time to complete, to perfect, to extend pleasure. The terror of death comes from the belief that it brings everything to an end. Why do we fear death? What we truly seek is an assurance that life continues despite death. We desperately want someone, anyone, to guarantee that we persist in some form. If one belief system doesn't provide that reassurance, we look elsewhere. But this hunger for continuity is, at its core, a longing for more. We feel incomplete, always wanting more. More wealth, more power, more recognition, more time. And whenever this pursuit is abruptly cut short, we label it as death. In response, we craft beliefs and ideologies to soothe this fear. But consider this, thought itself continues even if our bodies don't. This is evident in many ways. Ideas live on, passed down through books, embedded in culture, carried forward by others. And aren't we at our core just a collection of thoughts? Our names, our occupations, our finances, our memories, strip them all away and what remains of the self? If you say, I want my thoughts to persist because they will eventually lead me to truth, enlightenment, or ultimate joy, then you must ask, does thought ever truly reveal truth? Love beyond death. When there is love, fear of death dissolves. Real love isn't a product of thought, nor is it bound by time or memory. It flourishes in the present moment, untouched by the past or future. It is timeless. Death and immortality. We search for something permanent amidst change, for a sense of eternity in a world that is constantly shifting. We long for something unwavering as life moves around us. Yet, when we are free from attachment, there is no fear of death. In that freedom, there is a kind of immortality. But merely believing in or hoping for immortality is not the same as experiencing it. If we truly wish to encounter what is beyond time, we must release the beliefs and desires that uphold the illusion of self. The eternal present. Because we struggle to grasp life as it unfolds in the present, we either escape into thoughts of the future or dwell in fear of death. But the present moment itself is eternity. We don't experience the timeless because we remain trapped in time. Yet the now is always here, regardless of our attempts to escape into tomorrow. Is lasting joy possible? Perhaps there exists a joy that never fades. But to discover it, we must be truly free to explore truth firsthand, unburdened by past conditioning. This requires freedom from blindly following teachers, from rigid ideas of morality, from dependence on authority figures who dictate how we should live, and most importantly, from the ego that fuels conflict and suffering. When we are weighed down by yesterday's memories, we cannot fully embrace the eternal present. To truly live, we must be willing to let go of each passing moment, allowing something boundless and creative to emerge. When we relinquish attachment to our preferences and even our dearest beliefs, we do not fall into emptiness but into a vast creative potential. The fear of losing what we know. We perceive the self as something deep and spiritual, yet, in reality, it is merely a collection of memories and thoughts. Even if we conceive of a higher self, it is still an idea, a construct of the mind. In the end, whether it is our everyday self or a lofty version of it, it remains a fabrication of memory. Our bodies, no matter how well we care for them, inevitably deteriorate through age, illness, or accident. We witness this all around us and accept it. But what truly troubles us is our attachment to our familiar world, our relationships, our routines. We don't want to lose them. Even when life is painful, we cling to it because the unknown is terrifying. Life and death are one. If we deeply experienced life in its entirety, we would not fear its end. Life, in its truest form, is unknown, just as death is unknown. They are not two separate things. Those who view them as distinct are clinging to a superficial perspective. Belief in reincarnation or an afterlife can sometimes be a way to avoid facing the fear of the unknown, an attempt to extend the small self indefinitely. While thought may continue in various ways if we seek truth, thought is not the path. Thought is bound by time. It cannot lead us to the timeless. When we directly face the unknown, fear vanishes. Life is the unknown, death is the unknown, and truth is the unknown. Letting go. Life is far greater than the small fragment we are familiar with. That fragment is just memory, thoughts from the past. The mind clings to these memories and, in doing so, becomes trapped in what is known. Only when the mind is willing to exist in the space of not knowing can the unknown enter. When the mind clings to certainty, fear lingers. But in openness, fear dissolves. Seeking truth. Do you search for truth by relying on what others say, or do you embark on your own journey of discovery? True exploration requires openness, stepping into the vast unknown without a map, allowing yourself to be guided by direct experience rather than beliefs and doctrines. If you cling to others' words or your own mental constructs, you never truly discover. This is an invitation to step fearlessly into the unknown here and now. In that space, death loses its power, and what we call God points to something beyond thought, something that inspires boundless wonder.